This story sat with me for a long time. A man alone in the woods, a storm closing in, and a cabin that should not have existed. He went inside to wait out the rain. Someone was already waiting for him. This is James's story. He's never gone back into the woods alone. Not once. Come back with me. James was 25, maybe 26, way before a wife, way before kids. Back when he had the kind of free time and risk tolerance he can't relate to anymore. Solo backpacking trips, a few times a year, always somewhere in the Appalachians, always off trail, always completely off the grid. This particular trip was in the Cherokee National Forest. He'd been out there 2 days, no cell service, no other people, everything going perfectly. Then the storm came. Wind first, then temperature drop, then full downpour in minutes, trees bending sideways, branches cracking overhead, lightning striking close, and James was hiking at elevation with a metal-framed pack on his back. And then, through the trees, he saw it. A structure, small, dark, partially hidden, unmistakably man-made. A cabin. He pushed the door open, dim, dry, a chair, a small table, a cot frame against the far wall, a stone fireplace clogged with old ash. The place smelled terrible, but he didn't care. He stripped off his soaked clothes and lay down on the floor. It wasn't until maybe 15 minutes in that he started looking around. A sleeping bag in the corner, newer than the rest of the place. A few cans, some water jugs, like someone had been using this as a base camp. Then he saw the scratches, dozens of them, near the door, deep into the wood. No pattern, no order, like something desperate. He opened the door and looked at the latch. There was a metal bracket on the outside of the frame, designed to hold a padlock. Nothing on the inside. That door could only be locked from the outside. He walked to the window, screws driven into each corner, from outside, and around the inside edge of the frame, more scratches, deep ones, like someone had tried to pry it open with their bare hands. Someone had been kept in that cabin, trapped, against their will. He told himself whatever happened there was in the past, and the last thing he wanted was to go back out into that storm. Then he heard it, scratching, scraping, along the left wall of the cabin. He told himself it was a branch, then 2 heavy thumps on the porch. He froze, stared at a random spot on the wall, tried to listen over the rain. His eyes drifted to the window. He couldn't bring himself to look through it. If someone was out there, they'd be looking back. Then, pressure on the door, like someone leaning their full weight against it from outside. The wood creaked, the latch rattled once, then the pressure released, and then something clicked. Why would someone be outside in a storm like this, circling the cabin, tapping the walls, without just coming through the door? Nothing was stopping them. Unless they didn't want to come inside. Unless the whole point was to keep him in. He started moving, fast, packing whatever he could, 30 seconds from the door. Then, the sound of glass shattering behind him. He spun around just in time to see something come through the window, and the room erupted in flames. Heat like a physical wall. The door jammed from outside. He slammed into it with everything he had. It gave, collapsed off its hinges, and he ran. He couldn't see, couldn't think, just ran through the rain and the dark, trying to put distance between himself and that burning cabin. Something tackled him from behind, a person on top of him, gouging at his eyes, pulling his hair, going for a chokehold. He clawed back, kicked, screamed, pushed the man off, and kept running. He looked back once. The cabin was fully engulfed. A fireball in the middle of the forest. In the middle of a storm. His legs gave out somewhere deep in the woods. He found 2 fallen trees pressed together and crawled underneath and collapsed. He made it out. 2nd-degree burns on his left forearm and the back of his neck. Doctors told him he was lucky he hadn't inhaled more smoke than he did. He gave everything to the police. They weren't going to do much. He hadn't been in a charted section of the forest. It was a full thunderstorm. Metal roof, soaking wet wood. Wooden structures don't go up like that unless someone treated the wood beforehand. His wife thinks he stopped going alone because he grew up. He never told her what really happened. He never went back.